Hello, my dear Virgo, and welcome to another reading with me, Mountain Medicine. I'm so excited to be here with you all in this March month because we're starting to finally see some sunshine. And then here where I live, it just snows out of nowhere. So I hope you all are enjoying the contrast and the warm weather if that is where you live. We know it's coming. Right now, I'm just going to take a moment to cleanse and clear the energy space. Just giving some time for you all to take a couple deep breaths and to get comfortable with where you are, grabbing your tea or your coffee or your water, and just getting comfortable. Taking a few deep breaths here. And releasing anything that's going on in your world or your day-to-day, releasing the week, the month, everything and anything that's happened that's kind of been frustrating. I would even suggest to release any expectations that you have for the reading. Just know that whatever comes through will be absolutely perfect for you and that you will receive it in the highest vibration possible. Okay, so we're going to let that smoke clear, and I will first go through the positions for you. We start here in the center, which is the energy that the entire reading will take on. We then have the past here, your mindset within. We have your spirit guide messages, and then we have forward movement. Interesting that the coal is burning really hot. It's in a shell, so it shouldn't be a problem, but I lit it up really well. Okay, this here is the Lenormand, and it is read just like a sentence to give us more of a storyline. So let's dive in here with your center. We have heal thyself, and it was in the reverse. So some of you may be feeling a little bit of a resistance energy around doing some sort of healing journey. Maybe that's why the Palo Santo is burning so strongly. Maybe this is something that's very much meant for you, to feel that smoke sort of cleanse and wash over you, or the sacred waters or the sacred symbols, whatever it is for you that you like. There's a million and one ways that we can facilitate a healing. Okay, and in the reverse here at the base or at the past, you've been knowing about this for a long time. This is a giveaway ceremony, and that's exactly the concept of this quadrant here in the reading, in the spread itself, is that we all have something to release, and it's usually having to do with trust or having to do with, for some of you, giving your heart away and being very, perhaps disappointed on how things worked out. Okay, let's see here the mindset. Wow, okay, a shaman's journey is what you're on. Every card so far has definitely revealed that for you. Something to be released, something to let go of, perhaps limiting beliefs, perhaps past pains and traumas. Something is definitely going on, but it's going to make you stronger. This is a transformation card. As we move into your higher sources, unlimited vision. So again, the position is just absolute perfect positioning. This is about your higher sources. And this card here is about having unlimited vision. And we see here somebody sitting cross-legged and their mind is kind of drifting up. So they're being an open channel. They're allowing the words to come through. They're allowing that communication to come into their psyche. And then in turn are given these visions or mandalas or, you know, sacred symbols and sort of breadcrumbs along the way. Very beautiful there. And in your future, and the outcome, of course, is these new abilities. I'm smiling from ear to ear because this here leads us through to this here. So it's very beautiful energy. And I'm seeing here the numbers. We have 2, 4, 4, 3, 4, 1, 3, 3, 4. 4s and 3s, and one single 2. Okay. I just love it when the numbers match up. The meaning of this card here is that as you're doing this transformation work, as you're going through this shaman journey, as you're diving into this next step of being, this is sort of the emergence. This is about diving into the deep well that is your soul, researching parts about yourself, past lives, human design, astrology, Akashic records. It goes on and on. There's millions of different avenues which you can dive deeper, which is what this bird here is doing, is diving deeper into the rabbit hole, and he'll come back, or he'll come through being of the utmost potential that this being or whoever is receiving the ceremony would become. So there is such thing as a peyote ceremony, and you can look at that. You can research it and see how that performs. But more than that, you can go any way that you feel called. You don't have to do a peyote ceremony. You can, again, Akashic records, human design, astrology, the I Ching. There's so many different connection tools you can use to find this healing modality. Okay. So we have to do much with health, either health, DNA codes, ancestral lines, or DNA coming through for you. Okay, we have oppression, interesting, so it could be generational trauma. We have the key here, meaning you have the keys that you need to unlock all the doors to get to your peak potential. We have the letter here, messages coming through, messages coming in. It is in the reverse, and like I mentioned here, some of you just may be in a little bit of resistance to what's to come. We have the home here, interesting. Commitment in the reverse. And the anchor, interesting. Okay, so lots and lots of, to be blunt, conflicting energy. We have health, which probably just signifies a need to focus there. When our body is doing the best that it can, if we are feeding and nurturing our body in the best way that we know how to, this deep dive journey becomes much easier. The healing that is ready to be done in the mindset will happen also in the body. So something there about the mind and body being one and the same. Okay, and then the key is very spiritual. This is like having the understanding. And again, we have 3-3 and 3-3. So those are connected. We have the 4 and the 4. Okay, so interesting synchronicities going on here. Messages coming through could definitely be from the spirit realm. Some of you may be working on doing some automatic writing. Some of you will hear messages about, like if you just put in for a job, you're going to hear back on that. If you're awaiting that email, some of you are waiting to hear back. So it feels like it might just be taking a while, and there's a lot riding on it. There's a lot of pressure around it. So really, really focus on releasing that pressure and just thinking to yourself, whatever is meant for me will come for me. I don't have to do or be or have anything different in order to manifest that thing. And that would be these two cards here, just having that faith and that grounded energy that says, I know that whatever will come will come. Let's dive deeper now into what is ready to be released, or what it is that you are moving away from. And this is interesting because it says mosaic. Let chance play its creative role in your life. So a little bit of a repeat of what I said here. Whatever is meant for me will be for me. And whatever doesn't come my way, that's okay. I'm going to let it flow, and I'm not going to care very much. And in not caring very much, we release the pressure, and there's now this open channel, this avenue, this spiritual way of which things can then come to you. So I'm just really loving how both of these, there's like this uplifting or like this emerging energy coming from both of these. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this one upright. You'll see me do that quite a lot. And at the bottom here we have Let Love Grow. So again, some of you being just a little bit in resistance to some sort of change, transformation, a little bit of a dark night of the soul for some of you. Some of you, this might just be underlying stuff. It's not like there's a lot of negative cards here. It's more just, there's some things to look at. There's just some things that are calling your attention. So let's dive in here to sort of your goals and aspirations. What are you looking to create? I love that. So you all just, you're ready to thrive. You're ready for that emergence. You're ready to feel at one and at peace with your surroundings, and you're just ready for an uplift. So really, really beautiful. And the way to do that is going to be to allow the divine to come forward and to guide you. And then we're followed here with this power card. Again, just smiling from ear to ear, because this is pure power. This is lightning. This is that sort of a tower card, a little bit, but also not. Because this is more about that electrifying catalyst, like that fire that burns within us all. When that fire is a conduit for the higher sources, for the divine, and while we're clearing space and we're healing ourselves, we then allow for so much of this energy to then flow to us like this open channel. And that's what I'm seeing here with these two so close together there. And just I'm going to go ahead and lay this one out because I think it's very powerful. That's another, so the Tower card itself, I'll just dive in, is an indication that the universe is going to intervene. If traditionally, on the traditional tarot, there's a tower and a lightning strike is hitting that tower and people are jumping out of the windows. So the story goes that people were not leaving the castle, they were not living their truest life, and they were not finding their peak potential and their new abilities, or, you know, living from their true form. As you may hear if you practice human design, a lot of people are diving in. So, and it's beautiful. I've been doing some readings too if you're interested, and I'm going to be doing a live training on how to read human design in my group. So check out the description for all of that information. At the bottom of the deck here we have illumination. So many of you, some of you, many of you have pieces of you, your personality, your archetype, your persona that you don't even know yet. And I had a psychic tell me that a long time ago. She said, point blank, she just looked at me and said, there's parts of you you don't even know yet. And I thought, wow, that's like really daunting, but also really positive. Like there's something very positive about that. Like the story's nowhere near over. And I think some of you are in kind of a shake-up scenario where you're feeling a little bit bogged down. And it is because you are trying to run your life with your brain, and your spirit team here is just saying, you know, if you were to just believe that what you desire will be yours, and you allowed me to come in here as the coach, as the guide, as I want to say the savior, just because I'm seeing this here, but it doesn't have to be Christian. But some of you, I think a lot of you might vibe with that, or have at one time, but in any case, act as that person who not only walks beside you, but also picks you up when you need to be picked up. Many of you right now are feeling that need to be picked up, okay, even in the aspect of your health, your body. So ask for help if you need it. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So let's dive into your spirit team message. What does our spirit team have to say for Virgo? Strength card. I love this. that came out kind of funny, but I really love it because this is a spiral again. Okay, so we have, you have courage, you can endure, find your center and spiral into your power. It reminds me so much of this. We're spiraling deeper, right? People talk about that as a negative thing, like you get into a mindset spiral or your brain is spinning, right? And this is much the opposite of that. It's kind of like being a dog with a bone. It's like researching something so in depth that you don't even get tired for 3 days, right? That's this energy here, that excitement, that power that comes from, oh, I want to know more. I want to dive into this. I want to find more about that. And again, it might be Akashic Records, it might be Reiki, it might be crystal grids, it could be any number of things. So let's get one more card there to make it symmetrical. What else do we have to say to Virgo? So it seems that many of you are in sort of a healing journey. And another reminder to just reach out when you need to. So the friendship card says, be with the ones who make you shine, who love you and really care. Keep those and let the others go. So again, with this letting go, making space, most people who teach the Akashic, not the Akashic Records, manifestation and law of attraction, they'll say that it's very important to clear your space. If you want to manifest money, clean out your wallet. If you want to manifest a new bag, then clean out your old bag and hang it up somewhere. You know, it's almost like the more we set the expectation, the more that we declare what it is that we're going to receive, the more the universe can get behind us, because we are having a lot of jurisdiction. And I know I mentioned not to have too much of the left brain running the show, which is still the case, but it's okay to want what you want. So just don't be afraid to reach out when it comes time for expansion. Many of you are on that journey. You're going to be breaking free and emerging very soon. Now we have clarity here at the bottom. Banish the fog of illusion. And we had illumination also. Open your eyes to the truth. Remember the perfection of who you are. I think that's really lovely. Many of you are in that position where you're finding this new sense of clarity, just being led through life with all of these aha moments, you know, where it's like, oh, how could that possibly be? That doesn't make any sense. How could I possibly, you know, see so many fours, or, you know, whatever it is for you. Threes and fours, though, do seem very predominant for you. But, and then here we have another 3. Okay, and a 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. So maybe some of you it's 7s. 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 3, 4. It's 4 there, 4, 1. Interesting. Anyway, so this is going into your future, into your next step. It's time to make a choice. And again, really declare what it is that you want. Another repeat of what I was already on a tangent going off on, which is that it's time for you to be very crystal clear with the universe. I think this is where the illumination is coming from. The commitment is coming from. The key here, the dream time there. You are very, very connected to your higher sources. Your guides or your spirit team is very aware of what you want, is very aware of your intentions. And right now it just feels as though you're in between 2 or 3 or several options. So it's time now to really go over your options and just decide. I think that's a huge piece of it. And also, again, to listen. This is about those reoccurring numbers, whatever that is for you. This is about following the breadcrumbs. This is about speaking your truth as much as it is listening to others. And this is way connected to the spirit realms. I mean, this is about sitting with your guides and having a conversation rather than just seeing signs or billboards that call to you, right? So we'll come back around to that one because I think it's very serendipitous. Okay, so let's dive now into what is the momentum for Virgo? What is driving Virgo here? Ooh, we have the home 2 times. Interesting. Okay, so this is the 10 of Stones, or the 10 of Pentacles in the traditional tarot deck. So this is about material things, security, safety, hearing safety net, having that safety net. So for many of you, that would be code for money in the bank, and almost like stockpiling, but in a good way. But I do feel like there's energy there. And we can use that as an analogy, because I know it won't be everybody's message, but somebody did need to hear that. Something about stockpiling money and having a safety net. But that can almost be to a fault if we go too heavily on that. I was recently watching a show on history, which was about, it's called Alone, and a bunch of people go out in a survival situation, and they forage for food, and they have their own camera, and they do it all on their own. Well, there was one person who refused to eat. He had 33 fish saved up in a bucket, and they pulled him for starvation. So it was really interesting just how the mind can create issues, or the mind can create instability out of stability. So that's going to ring true for some of you. But we have another momentum card here, moving more into your future. The Raven, which indicates the journey here. Number 13, which equals 4. Okay, interesting, you all. Okay, so the Raven story is actually quite beautiful. He used to be the most colorful bird on earth, but none of the other birds had any color. So all birds on the planet were black. And then the Raven was this colorful, magical bird with all of the colors of the rainbow. And he got so tired of being different that a day came where he was soaring up into the sky and just going straight up as fast as he could. And while he was flying, he started to cry. And he cried these tears that felt like drowning the earth. And when he got to the top, or when he finally planed out, he realized that he had cried all of his colors off of his wings. His colors dripped off of him. And he thought, oh, finally, I'm the same. Finally, I will fit in. Finally, I'll be like everyone else. And he came back down to earth, and all of the birds had their colors because they had absorbed them from his tears. And he had shed all of those colors, and now he is a black, still majestic, still large bird. But the story goes that he was not always black. So be careful, you all. This comes, and I love that story for you because it comes here, like this one, diving into what really makes you you. What makes you unique, and how can you highlight those points, specifically with your spirit team. I think many of you have a very good relationship with the divine. And at the bottom of the deck here, we have clearance, a 7. So 4 plus 3, 3 plus 4, you get it. Lots of 7s. And this is about being able to be comfortable enough to make camp, to set down your axe, to no longer be at war, to sit and chew those fish that you caught, and just feel finally like there is this light at the end of the tunnel and you can finally relax. That energy right there of saying, oh, I finally have enough. I'm finally released. I'm finally feeling like the universe has my back. Once you start to feel that way, you're in the opportune energy for manifestation. That's the art of allowing. That's the final step. That's understanding that all things come to you, especially in moments of joy, especially in moments of leisure. So that is this message here. And, you know, as humans, we're not taught to have leisure time. We're really not. And so many of us will turn on the TV only when it's nighttime and everyone is going to bed, or we only will go on a walk if we feel as though we had a fulfilling day. We'll only sit out on the front porch if we have a project in our hands, you know, something like that. So the aspect of you that is coming forward right now to aid you is this 6 here. This reminds me a lot of a Libra because of the balance of the black and white, and how interesting that there's black and white wings, and then we have the colors of the rainbow. So this could be a little nod to that raven story. But all in all, we have this spiral candlestick here with the opposing wings. This is about balancing the masculine and feminine. This is about balancing your shadow self, or this, you know, transformation journey that's really taking you for a loop. It really is. If anything, it's just kind of confusing. Like, why would I go about this darkness? But the light is still here. The light is still a part of you. You're still experiencing, but you're experiencing with contrast. So this is like that guardian angel that comes forward and just says, follow your heart and don't worry about the other things. Your heart knows the way, and it will provide you with all of the insight and anything that you need and that you desire, really. Okay. And next, as we move closer to your future, we have the Sage here. I think this is sort of who you're becoming, which is really lovely. There's a wisdom here. The wolf is a teacher, and the owl, which we see 2 times here. Maybe more, let me check. Nope, okay. The owl here is about 360-degree vision. This is about being able to see everything all at once. It's like the raven going up into the sky, but instead of giving of himself, instead of depleting himself completely of his gifts, if he had just gone as a joyride, you know, to clear his head and to just, you know, tap into that space and just see spirit guides and have the spirit guides say, just honor yourself, just see yourself as true potential, see yourself as completely renewed, then the raven would be, you know, the raven very much is this character here, seasoned, finally understanding, but understanding after trial and error, understanding the magic of the universe, but being on the other side of it, right? And so you have the choice now to embody this teacher and to give people this insight into not just who you are, but the aspects of you that people don't know of. You know, we all have something like that where, you know, especially with this card here, the half and half. Sorry, I'm grabbing my train of thought. Yes, we feel as though sometimes that we're faking it till we make it, or that we're giving it all we've got, but we're on our last leg. And so what appears to others to be me is very different from who I am. So it's important to know that and not to beat yourself up, because I don't feel that there's any energy here of you wanting or needing to come to terms with things. This is about digging your way out. This is about finding your strength and understanding when to reach out for assistance. That's a huge piece of this. Having the dedication to your dream, to your intention, to your manifestation, to sit down and do the meditation, to maybe do the automatic writing, or of course to dive into the healing modalities. You know, you can find so many resources. There's no end. I personally do Akashic Records. I love human design. I love ancestral knowledge, which we see here too. Medicine Wheel, which is what we're doing. I do the spiral. I have a program coming out all about the spiral, and it's not in launch phase yet, but it will be in April. So come back next month and I'll talk about it. But it's just And I'll put some info in the description, but there's just this amazing energy for you to tap in, relish in the deep, dark parts of you. We have this shamanic journey going on, and in terms of getting to the other side, this is what's on the bottom of the deck for you. And I used to think that this Three of Water was a, a woman who's tied, you know, that it looks like she's bound up. But in the description, these are actually whips. So it's interesting, like, not because there's like a dominatrix side or anything, but you know, you kind of have to look at it that way. This is, she has a smile on her face. She's got, you know, all of these talismans and these different medicinal pieces here. She also has the fish, which is about abundance in many of the other decks that I have. So she has all these tools and she has the control. So I feel many of you need to tap into this energy here of what it's like to be fully and completely the director of your life, to know what it's like to make a choice, set an intention, and let it be so. Many of you are on that journey of just having the ability to manifest completely and feel what that's like. So let's see what animals are going to help you do that. What animals do we have for Virgo? Okay, the owl. Interesting. You guys have 3 owls on the table. What does the owl have to say? I know he says deception at the bottom here, but it isn't always that. It's more about seeing through deception. I'm sorry. There's a message of the card and then there's the message for you. And right now they're combating. So let me just channel here. The message of the card says deception, but it's more about seeing through the deception and not being able to be deceived. You are incapable as a person of being deceived at all. Nobody can get anything by you. And that's part of your gift. That's part of this quote unquote darkness, this shadow work, this shamanic experience. It's not down in the dumps, you know, energy. It's not like, I don't know, it just feels very comfortable to be there in this transformation. And perhaps some of you with this sage here and with all of this healing, I think many of you may be on the quest of helping others to do the same. And 2 and 1 is 3, just to throw that in there. So we literally have no numbers here, 3, 3, 3. And then 4, 2 plus 2 is 4, a 3, a 4, 3. It's just insane, a 4 and a 1 there. It's just absolutely funny. Lots of 4s and 3s. Okay, let's see what other animals aiding you on this journey. We have the antelope, which is all about action. 3 and 7, you're just missing the 4. We have action here that's going to go right next to this strength card. So the story of the antelope is that they are so quick on their feet that they're actually kind of hard to catch. They jump the string of bows and arrows. So by the time they hear your arrow go, they will have dropped and sprung and your arrow will go under them. So they call it jump the string. Anyway, the concept behind it is to take action before anything else happens, right? So using this power energy, this lightning bolt energy, from a state of thriving, from a state of trusting the universe, from a state of balancing yourself and healing yourself, you then have inspired action, which is by far greater than what they call messy action, which is just knee-jerk reactions, right? So that would be sort of the downside of this card, would be knee-jerk reactions. So just be very specific, Virgo, on what it is that you want to do and accomplish. And you'll never guess who's on the bottom of the deck here. 1 and 6 is 7. And 1 and 3 is 4. You've got some raven energy in you. Whoever is watching, you've got some shaman energy in you. Lots of threes, threes, fours, and sevens everywhere I look here. Even 2 plus 5 is 7. 2 and 7 there. Anyway, I need to not fixate on the numbers. In any case, that raven story, I feel some of you will be diving deeper into the meaning of ravens. Maybe watching shows on ravens. Maybe some of you know already that a raven is with you. Maybe you are a raven reincarnated. There's so many things that it could be. This could be a spirit guide of yours. The energy here is so powerful. They represent the void. They represent, as you see here, magic and the journey, the overall journey. They can be scavengers and they feast upon the dead. But it's a beautiful thing. They do so to, it's a powerful decision for the raven to feast on the dead. And I know there's another story that goes with it. It might be vulture, either vulture or raven, but something about making a deal with the divine to feast upon the dead as an act of being selfless. So something to look into there for some of you. Very beautiful to have on the bottom of the deck. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place that there. Okay. I do want to have one more card because I am missing one and it'll drive me crazy. So let's see what it is that you all will be doing in order to connect higher to your divine sources. What does Virgo need to do to connect to their higher sources in a deeper way? Intention. Wow. Yes. It's so similar here. Even just that vertical reaching, it just feels so fantastic. So your intentions are everything, Virgo. I think many of you, are not setting your intentions out into the world. Your intentions are internal. And I think it's time now to sort of prove, using that word lightly, to the universe that you're very committed and you're very serious about whatever choice it is that you're making. Whatever intention that it is, make it very strong, make it very irresistible, if you will, for the divine. And be doing your reflection work. This is what's on the bottom here is reflection. So divine mirrors, another something to look at, look up, which is that we're all reflecting pieces of our divine goodness to the world at any given time. And when people come up to us, or when people see us on the street, or we get close to people, or what have you, then they see a reflection of themselves within us that they need to see in order to grow. So again, another way that you can innately be a teacher on this planet, just awakening other people as you walk along the path, because you come from such a intense and amazing transformational journey. I think it might be time to share about that, to get to this point here where you're thriving, where you're feeling like you're manifesting on demand. And, you know, some of you might be saying, like, that's not something I need. I don't really need to manifest. I'd rather just, you know, do what I need to do in order to, I don't know, survive. But I don't think that's many of you. I think most of you are on a very, very spiritual path that's very connected to the divine, and doing some meditations, tapping into this magical void that is that sacred spiral that gets you to the spirit realm, where you're literally sitting down having conversations with your guides, and then remembering those conversations and bringing them back with you to the physical with this beautiful intention, and just saying yes. You know, my spirit guides know, and I just spoke with them, and you know, they and I agree. We agree that this is how it should be, and this is what I want to create, and this is the power that I hold, and these are the aspects of myself that are greatly inspired. And you realizing you have the key in every way, shape, and form, if you mix that with pure and conscious self-acceptance, where you just say, look at how far I've climbed, look at how far this has been for me, and you just empower yourself to show up bigger, show up greater, and initially, completely and totally illuminate your surroundings. Allow yourself to see the clouds clear, allowing yourself to really feel that crystal clear clarity, that clarity from the divine, from your higher sources, from those spirit guides. And one way that I do this, and I absolutely recommend with my whole heart, is the Akashic Records. I know I've mentioned it just a little bit here and there, but I do teach the Akashic Records, how to access them, and certify you to become also a teacher of the records. So if you're looking for something to dive into, it's very, very well-rounded. We speak to our spirit guides, we go into past lives, we talk about branding a business. If you're into that, that's kind of a bonus module, is setting up the schedule, because you are going to offer your own services, your own sessions, and offer the course in your own way, which would of course be an income stream. So everything's in the description box if that suits your fancy. But if it's that, or it's something else, maybe it's Reiki or something, I just feel that many of you are going to be really honing in on your abilities to channel, your ability to receive intuitive insight. Those messages coming through are going to be so innately powerful and so committed. That's something that I love so much about it, is you go to the Akashic Records or the Akashic Realm, whatever you want to call it, and it looks a little like this. Actually, it's like floating on clouds. It's quite amazing, and there's just so much light there, and it feels like a relief to be there. It feels very safe and very sweet. So I'd love to have you there. That's something I can walk you through if you'd like. Everything will be in the description box as usual. So, my dear Virgo, please take your time as I knock my shelf. Take your time to really focus on this clarity. Really focus on your guides. Really focus on this journey that you've been set out upon. And I know it's the most cliche thing to say, is to focus on the lessons or focus on the growth, but you're really being guided to see that Raven journey, that sort of trauma that he underwent of not feeling accepted or not feeling at one with the rest of the world, and then washing himself of what made him unique, and then feeling like he had plummeted even farther, right? It's just a very interesting, deep, kind of sad story, but it's the story of a shaman. It's the story of a sage. It's the story of a teacher. So it says, banish the fog of illusion. Open your eyes to the truth. Remember the perfection of who you are. So beautiful, Virgo. It's just such a beautiful energy here. And if you all are launching businesses, if you are looking for healing services to get those messages out there into the world, I'd love to help you. I'm a spiritual online business coach, and I help people to get clients online. If that's something that interests you, reach out to me. Everything's in the description box again. I also have a spiritual group where my female entrepreneurs, well, all entrepreneurs, come and hang out with me, and we talk about everything from human design, Akashic Records, and whatever it is that you're into as well. So if you're into crystals and you bring that to the conversation, that's all the better. And this sage journey, this so deep giveaway ceremony transformation journey that you're on, if you need somewhere to just bounce ideas off of, that group is going to be such a resource for you. Tons of readers in there, tons of spiritual entrepreneurs in there who are really out there doing it, offering these healing services. So you may jive with us in there for many of you. Other than that, you all, I will see you all next week, next month for April, and I'll have much more to share with you. So please don't forget to subscribe to be here next month. I have a lot of stuff to talk about, and also your comments and your likes and all of those things really, really help me as a new YouTuber to grow and prosper here on this platform. So I hope that you all will show some love and support. I will see you all next month or in my inbox. See you then. Bye.